Hello guys, you're welcome back to my channel. Right now the time is 11:59 p.m. and it just came to my notice that people who applied for the Tony Lily Foundation grant 2023 have started receiving mails, like congratulatory mails to move to the next phase, and some other people have started receiving maybe rejection mails. But why I'm here is because if you have received the congratulatory mail and they have asked you to go ahead to the second application phase, please hold on. Make sure you watch this video till the end. I have started the series. I applied in 2022. I won the grant, and I have promised to take you through this journey. So, uh, some of my, some of my friends who applied this year, they informed me that they received congratulatory mail, and they asked them to go ahead with second application, and that was like a new twist to the game, because last year there was nothing like second application, and I really understand why. Because let me just quickly give you a brief background. Last year the final phase was the business plan phase, like where we had to write the business plan and the pitch video that we made. And a lot of people wrote the business plan, they thought they did well, but at the end of the day they disqualified so many people. And even some of us that were qualified, we knew the heat that we felt, the stress and the struggle that we went through. So a lot of people now complained that why don't you just make this business plan come first, so that we wouldn't have to go through this lot of stress, and at the end of all the wahala, at the end of getting your business registered with CAC and all of that, and then you now go through the stress of writing a business plan, doing a pitch video, and at the end they will now not shortlist you. Do you get? So they advised the foundation that why not just let this business plan come first, so that you will actually cut down the number of people, and at the end of the day you have almost the number of people that you are going to fund right from the early phase of the program. And I think they put all those into consideration this year, and that's why you are having another application after the first application. Unlike our own case in 2022, after that application, we just got a congratulatory mail and onboarding phase started. And after the onboarding phase, we had the business management uh, training, and after the business management training, we had the uh, the pitch business plan, and then the pitch phase and all that, then the documentation. So that being said, I want to quickly mention here that this second application, I learned that there are 100 questions, 1 to 100. And from what I have seen, it seems that they brought the business plan template forward. So I'm going to be, answering the business. I'll bring the business templates that we used in 2022, and I'll try to explain what each of the points means, so that it will guide you. You go through this video before you go ahead to do your second application, because I think this is going to go a long way in deciding whether you'll be eligible to get a grant at the end of the day. They might not ask you to do another business plan. I'm just foreseeing that they might not ask you to do another business plan. Although my hands are full, and it's been over 1 year that I applied for this thing, but I think I still have the template on my phone. I've formatted my phone, and I hope I still have, and I hope I'm able to trash everything in just one video. Otherwise, I might have to just, make the video into two parts, make another video maybe tomorrow by daybreak or something. So let's go, guys. I was able to recover it. Oh my goodness. So I learned that you have just 45 minutes to answer both the survey and these other questions too. And let me just go quickly. I must confess, this video is going to be a long one if I want to make everything in just one video. So just bear with me. So the first question, make sure that you take note of the salient points. The first question says, describe an overview of your business, highlighting how you came up with this business idea, what problem you're trying to solve, how your business solves this problem. When describing your problem, make sure that you quantify the significance of the problem in terms of loss, that is money or time or resources or uncaptured value, e.g. of people, entities that need a solution to this problem. And then you have limited number of words. In this case, it's not more than 150 words. I don't know if it's going to come verbatim like this, but just understand everything that I'm going to say. So this one is telling you an overview. They like stories. So you can just begin with the story of how you discovered that people are in need of this solution. I've just been saying it, find solution, look for target market and all that. So this is very important in answering some of these questions. So how did you come about your idea? You can give them a story. Write a story. In my own case now, I told them that in 2020, when COVID-19, when the pandemic uh, was really intense, that I was working in the community and people were afraid to go out. In fact, there was lockdown, so there was restriction of movement, and people with ailments could not access medical care in Nigeria. And as a result, some people started calling me, asking me for medical advice, drugs. I became a doctor. Even though I'm a pharmacist, I literally started giving out um, online closing the consultations. I was prescribing online and all of that because only pharmacies, were allowed to open during that period. People were not really able to go to the hospital because more severe cases were the ones they were attending to in the hospital. It was just like only COVID. People were only suffering from COVID that period. It's like every other people suffering from other ailments were just minor. That time was just only COVID. So I said it was that period that I realized that people need to have access to online hospitals. And I came up with medical app where people can consult with doctors virtually and all that. So you can just give, a brief story about how you came up with your own business idea. So the problem that I'm trying to solve, I've mentioned it in the story now. I'm trying to solve the problem of, accessibility to medical care, and then how my business solves this problem. So from the comfort of your home, you can use your phone, download the medical app, and you know get to talk with a doctor or any medical practitioner whatsoever that you need for a period of time, and then that's it. Then they said you should quantify. So I said that because people were not getting proper medical attention during that time, some people lost their lives because they couldn't go out, they couldn't access medical care. So something like that. I don't know what business you are trying to solve, but I'm just giving you an idea. So not more than 150 words. The next thing says, so in your own case, it could be that, in terms of loss, it could be that, okay, maybe people lost money while trying to eat healthy, while trying to buy fruit. People will buy fruit and because they are perishable, they spoil because they can't stock large quantity. But you are coming up with something that will make people eat fruit all round the year without spoiling. Do you get? Just do your own thing. So the next thing says features and functionalities. How does your business work? Describe the unique features of your business offering and how they address your identified problems. Not more than 100 words. So that is the business process. So I think in this place, they termed it as, let me quickly, this is an impromptu video. So I think in this case, they're asking you that, they're asking you that how can your okay your business model, like what's your business model, it's like what's your business process. So in this case you're supposed to describe how you intend to run this business. In my own case, I want to develop an app, a mobile app that can work on both Apple, on iOS, on iPhones, and on Android phones, where medical doctors, physiologists, psychologists, all of them can come and register on that app. And then people who are in need that cannot go out, maybe because of restriction, now that there's no more COVID, it could be because of fuel scarcity, It could be because of money scarcity, cash scarcity. It could be because of uh, tight schedule at work. Doctor gives you an appointment, but your work is not allowing, your employer is not allowing you to go for that appointment at that particular time. So you can just get to speak with your doctor virtually. So you will have the app. You first document your biodata, your personal information, then your medical history. You put in your medical history. Then you get to book a session. You book like 30 minutes. After you book, you schedule with the doctor. After you schedule, then you talk virtually. You can decide to make it audio or virtual depending on what option you have opted for. So in that case, after you're done, should you describe that process and always note that you must answer the salient points. So they said that describe the unique feature. What is unique about it is the fact that they are physical hospitals, but this one is not physical. And then we run 24/7, like throughout the week, morning till night. You always get a doctor to speak with, and you can stay in your home, to get this free consultation. So that is unique in its own way. So your business overall, your business needs to be unique. So address identified problems. So what I've said now, it has addressed all those. Now the next question is, how will you produce or provide your business offering? Tell us how you will create or develop your product. If you're offering services, describe how you will equip yourself and your team to provide these services, not more than 50 words. So in my own case now, I said that okay, I will invite a back-end engineer, I will invite a UI UX designer, I will invite an admin staff, I will invite somebody that will be in charge of PR, public relations, like somebody that will be in charge of advertisement, and we'll work as a team, young people. I will invite medical doctors from the hospital, young people of like minds that are, diligent and that are resilient, that are tenacious, and will work as a team. So in your own case, if you need to go for training, you can say that your team will attend, so training depending on your business. If you are in the agricultural this thing now, you can say that your team members, you work hand in hand with maybe an agricultural company that will educate you on the current disease trends of poultry and all of that. So it all depends on your business. I don't know it all. So you make sure that you address that one. Then the next one talks about pricing. What is the average price of your product or service in US dollars and in local currency? In my own case last year, I did an equivalent of 500, like 1 naira to 500, 500 naira, excuse me, 500 naira to $1. So I don't think that has changed. It's still an approximate value. So you can still estimate that. Let's assume that $1 is 500 naira. So let's go. Talking about price now is more tricky because they are telling you to give it in dollar. If you have not determined the price yet, talk about what you will consider in deciding the price of your business offering. Honestly speaking, I made this video while I was still in Nigeria and I used the board, a whiteboard, but unfortunately, I don't have access to that video anymore. And now I don't have a board. So you really have to pay rapt attention. So first thing you need to do is don't submit any business idea that you don't understand. I've really mentioned that in my previous videos. So by now, I hope that you understand the business that you have submitted. I hope that you have consulted people that are already doing that business. I know that you have an idea of how much they are selling a unit product that you want to sell. I hope that by now you have an idea of how much people charge, the average price they charge for the services you want to be rendering. You get? I hope that I am talking to people who are knowledgeable about all these things. So you will now say, in my own case, I was just an idea stage. My business was at the idea stage. So I may not be able to really answer people who are already in the business. But of course, you have your figures if you're already in business. So I'll be answering based on idea stage. You would just say that For instance, in my own case, again, if one consultation on the average, if doctors consult for patients on the average for 3,000 naira now, let's assume 3,000, that's how much, that's $6. Just put it in bracket. Six, you say $6 in bracket, 3,000 naira. Hi, it is now my own decision as a starter, as a fresher, as as somebody that is just starting the business. If I decide to offer my own consultation at 2,500. That is how much? I think that is $5. So you put it in bracket like that too. So that is your average price of your product or services in dollars and local currency. Now, if you have not yet determined, talk about what you will consider in deciding the price. Like I've considered that, okay, if an average, if in Ibadan, the average medical consultation fee is 3,000. So that is what I have considered. That means that I have done my market survey. I have gone round Ibadan, or I've gone through a lot of hospitals in Ibadan to find out how much they are paying for consultation. So now I am basing my decision on that. So you say, based on the market research that you have made, if the average something they are selling fish in Ibadan, because you're in Ibadan, is so. You now say your own price. If I decide to sell at this price, that's your unit price. So I decide to sell at this price. That answers that. They said not more than 20 words. So you that already gives you an idea that they don't want stories. Now let's talk profitability. They said, how will you make profit? That's first question. How do you want to make profit? Tell us how many users you expect to sell to in a year. If your business earns revenue by usage instead of by user or customer, indicate the level of usage you expect. Give a summary of your cost of operation or cost price and mention what profit margin you expect to make from your business. Not more than 50 words. Honestly, this particular stage needs me to write, but I don't have a board. But I'll try and maybe look for that video that I made or buy a board and make this video. But let me just say it verbally. How will you make profit? That's not the first answer you will put. Tell us how many users you expect to sell. In my own case, that was what I did. That was how I answered it. I answered that one, how many users first. It's just an estimate, for God's sake, because I am just an idea stage applicant. So I just said, assuming by the end of 1 year, because they said, how many users do you expect to sell to in a year? Assuming by the end of 1 year, 1,000 users, I'm able to render my service to 1,000 users. That means 1,000 people have downloaded my application. If you're selling, that means 1,000 people have bought the product that you are selling. Assuming that you have users 1,000 by the end of 1 year, and then you are selling for how much? You're selling for 2,005 per user. You're selling your products for 2,005 each. Now multiply by that 2,005 by 1,000. 25 times 1,000. Please. So that gives you 2.5 million naira. You assume a lot here because I'm not in business. If you're in business, you must have found out from people that are doing something similar, if not the same, as what you intend to do. And if your own is so innovative, there's nobody that has been doing that, just assume. So now, assuming that that is 2.5 million, I will now assume again that assuming that every expenses, all the money that I'm going to use to start up all these things, to start up my app and to launch it, assuming that I am going to be needing 3,000, I said 3,000, assuming I'm going to be needing 3 million naira, always remember to put the equivalent in dollars into brackets. So assuming that I'm going to be needing 3 million for everything. But remember, if you say 3 million, you are selling 2.5 million. That means you'll be running at loss. Do you get? If you're saying that, okay, to manufacture this phone, I need 3 million. But after I manufacture this phone, I have spent 3 million. I now want to start selling this phone to people. By the end of 1 year, I hope to sell this phone at 2005 to 1000 people. I will now make 2.5 million. Am I in profit or loss? That means I'm in loss because I've spent more than I have earned. So try as much as possible not to be in loss. In that case, you can play with your figures. Do you get? I can now decide to say, okay, um, assuming that the total expenses is 2000. That way I have 500 naira, 500,000 naira profit. Do you understand me at all? So now I'm playing with my figures. 2.5 million naira as my total income, total sales in 1 year. Now I have spent 2 million naira to manufacture my products or to put my services in order. That means I have what? Net income of 500,000 naira. If you have 500,000 naira as net income, now let us calculate your profitability. So after calculating your net income, the next thing is to calculate our percentage profit. Now to calculate your percentage profit, it will be your net income, which is 2.5 million minus 2 million, which is 500,000, over your total annual income, which is 2.5 million. Do you get? It will now be 500,000 over 2.5 million times 100. Let's quickly do that. So 500,000 divided by 2.5 million, that's 0.2. Now times 100, that gives me 20%. And as a startup, as an idea stage, or as an early stage business, please don't do more than 20% profit. Don't do more than 20% profitability is one of the things they look for. And if it is more than 20%, they are most likely going to disqualify you. I can't really recall where I learned that from. But if you do more than 20%, you might not get it. Do you need me to come over it again? Do I make myself clear? Like, do I need to still go ahead to write it for you guys? You just assume, except you have the figures already. If you have the figures, you can work with your figures. But if you don't, just assume like this, that since my business is at the idea stage or at the early stage, or I have never done this kind of calculation, or I have not been documenting, so you just assume. Do you understand me at all? So can we just move to the next point? Getting really late. Time now is 12:32. So give a summary of your cost of operation. So all those ones. Mention what your profit margin you expect to make from your business, so that it's not more than 50 words. Now let's go to market opportunity. They are saying describe the size of your market in currency, your target customer, and how many customers you anticipate will benefit from you solving the problem you have identified. Not more than 50 words, so they don't need stories. So in this case now, it's dicey. How can you say I should describe my market in currency? So what I found out, what I did was, you have to keep making market research. So I went online, I searched what is the percentage of people, like, in the world globally, who are using virtual medical consultation. So Google showed me that about 50% of the population, if I can recall correctly, that about 50% of the population have access to healthcare clinic. So I just manipulated that figure. Okay, that in Nigeria, if half of the population of Nigeria have a difficulty in accessing medical help or health care, they are restricted to their access to healthcare, like maybe they are in the rural areas, they don't have access to healthcare. That's 50%. The remaining 50%. Now I now said again, I quoted WHO, that's my source. I quoted it inside brackets. And I said, if 0.1, I know that they usually say 200 million people in Nigeria. So I said, if 0.1 of that 50%, like I just assumed in my head, that if 0.1 of that 50% that have access to health, half does not have access to health, half has access to health. So let's assume that, oh, 1%, let's just assume that 1% of that 50% now, they are willing to use virtual consultation. They are willing to do online consultation. So I did the calculation. 50% of 200 million people, that will give you one answer. And I said 1% rather, 1% of that 50%. You see the mathematics. Let me quickly do it here. So 50% of 200 million is what? 100 million. Now 1% of 100 million is even simple. 1% of 100 million, that's 1 million. That's assuming that 1 million people are willing to use my online consultation app. Just an assumption. In your own case, just Google search about your business and just use your own discretion. Do you get? So that's assuming that that means that 1%, that 1%, that 1 million people is my what? Is my target market. So that was all I did. They said highlight what tactics you will use to grow your customer base. Are we there? So describe your size of your market in currency. So that was what I did. So that means that I have 1 million people. I now said, since one unit price of my service will cost 2,500 naira, I now multiplied it by 1 million people. That is what? $5 times 1 million, which gives you five what? Five uh $5 million. So $5 million is my target market in dollars. Please, do you understand me? If you don't understand me, please let me know in the comment section. I will try to get it, but even if it means for me to go and buy that board, I'll go and buy it from Salvation Army. And I just want to see you excel. I want to see you succeed, because I'll talk about what I used the Elumelu Foundation money to do. You guys will get to know. So that is that about target audience. The next question says marketing and sales, your marketing plan. So explain how you plan to get your product or service to your target market. So how do you plan to get your product or service to your target market? Highlight the tactics you will use to grow your customer base, and to maintain relationships and build customer loyalty. What offline and online channels will you use to create visibility for your business? And tell us what distribution systems or partnerships you will utilize to get your business offering to the market. So it all depends on the kind of business you are offering. They said not more than 100 words. So you are to explain how you plan to get your product or services to your target market. Are you going to charter a car? In my own case now, it's just for me to do sponsored ads, run sponsored ads, do verbal referrals, tell family members first, family and friends, make flyers. That's one of the offline methods. Make flyers, distribute, assign people to share the flyers, put it on doors, put it on car handles, share the flyers to the hospitals, work in partnership with hospitals, with community pharmacies, you know, creating awareness, put stickers on public cars, commercial cars, put stickers on private cars, and all of that. So in my own case now, I'm not doing feasible products that I want to transport. What I'm selling is virtual. So in your own case, just describe how you will get your product, and make sure you count the numbers or the number of words that you are using. Do Because I think these are some of the things that they used to disqualify people. So highlight your tactics you use to grow your customer base. In my own case, I said I will also do bulk SMS, bulk email, you know, for people who show interest, people that have patronized me at the early stage, I will take their email addresses, continue to send them mails, serve as maybe reminders, to greet them for Salah, greet them for Christmas and all that, so that I'll register the brand in their memories. You get in their minds, build your customer loyalty. You could give referral vouchers if people bring other people, they get referral bonuses and all that. But offline and online, I've mentioned the offline and online. You run Facebook ads, run YouTube ads. You can run ads generally. You can also partner with, what do they call them now? You can partner with celebrities in that niche. In my own case now, I could partner with maybe uh, uh, the pediatrician, some of these online, these social media influencers that are in my niche, in medical niche. I could partner with them, to help me convert their followers to sales. Do you get? How do you create visibility? Tell us what distribution systems or partnership you will utilize to get your business offering to the market. In my own case, partnering with hospitals so that doctor, if you know that patients are too many, you can even be telling them if your cases are minor, you can, instead of coming to the hospital, you can download this app. Doctors will help me to tell their patients in the community hospitals, they will help in the community pharmacies, they will tell them. We can even start generating e-prescriptions. I will get to that. So that from the app, people will generate prescriptions, they will send it to the pharmacy that's closest to their house. They will just go and pick up their drug after speaking with the doctor. So just as it pertains to you, just say your own story. The next question is SWOT analysis. In my review, the SWOT analysis was not fantastic. So I'll just answer it based on what I did. So it may not be fantastic. If you have better answer to this SWOT analysis, please let us know in the comment section. So it says describe the strength. You know the meaning of SWOT. Strength, weaknesses, opportunities and threats. So describe the strengths, opportunities for your business, highlight threats and weaknesses you see in your business and your plans to overcome them. Excuse me. In my own case now, I talked about the fact that people may not be willing to embrace this this kind of innovation. Some people might be thinking that, oh, I want to see the doctor myself face to face. We have some people like that, they don't embrace technology that much. Then I said that some other people, their cases are critical and they need to be physically examined. They need to, undergo some series of laboratory tests, which is like one of the limitations of this online or virtual consultation. So that one serving as the weakness. Then the strength is the fact that you can stay at the comfort of your home 247. You have access to medical attention. You get to speak to a doctor as long as you want, as long as you can pay. So you get to speak to a doctor at the comfort of your home, run 247 and all of that. So depending on the uniqueness of your own business, just name it. So that is the strength. And then I've mentioned the weakness. Then the opportunities in the future. We can partner with uh, manufacturing companies, pharmaceutical companies that are manufacturing medications. We can partner with them in the future. And can partner with hospitals in the future, can partner with community pharmacies in the future. And then for threats, because I didn't get to see so many people in this niche, so I didn't even have anybody to compare the business with. So the only threat I said was some of those limitations. So I just look on money. So I didn't really. So that one. Now said your analysis can include any of the following: product, competition, political, environmental, social, technical, economic, and regulatory barriers, or any other relevant microeconomic trends. Not more than 50 words, so you don't have to tell so much stories. Now, next is your needs. We're almost done. Your needs. You said, what do you need for your business right now? Describe the resources that you will need to meet your financial and business goals, additional employees or funding. So in my own case now, I just said that I needed money to pay as deposit to, before the UI UX designer and the back end the engineer, before they could start work, I needed to pay them upfront. I needed to pay them a deposit. So, I quoted the amount because I got real quotation from people, from real Cephas Digital. I got quotation from real UI UX designer, from a real, I bargained, and it wasn't difficult for me to come up with what to write. So I wrote that I will do all of those to meet the needs of the financial business goals. So if you need to buy equipment, you can name the equipment you need to buy. And then one other thing, don't forget that they are going to give you $5,000. Don't go and give them estimate of $10,000 or $20,000. Just work within the money that they want to give you. Maybe in my own case, I just rounded everything up to $5,000 to $4,000, I think. Yes. So I rounded everything up to $4,000. So you could just do something within that range. You would also need money for logistics, you need money for miscellaneous and all of that. So all the remaining change with you can use them to cover miscellaneous and logistics if they ask for a breakdown. So you could just cover like $3,000 or $4,000 in your analysis. So paying of employees, I wrote that okay, UI UX designer, that one was determined. So I wrote the figure for the back end engineer, I wrote the figure for admin, I wrote not yet determined, for publicity, I wrote not yet determined, logistics not yet determined, and all of that. So building a team, who is on your team, your business team? Highlight the people on your business team. Me, I had UI UX designer, I had admin. That's the admin that will be going to meet the doctors. I had um I had people that would distribute stickers and all that. All those people that use skating boards, that use skating boots to share flyers. I wrote them. I wrote influencers. You can put influencers in your own team too, and all that. So they say you should write a brief overview of you and your team and describe what makes your team unique, uniquely capable of leading your business to success. So in my own case, they said no more than 100 words. So you have to write a lot. 100 words is still a lot. So in my own case, I said, okay, then I was working in the hospital as a hospital pharmacist. I had access to medical doctors. I'll bring medical doctors to my team. I'll bring, even pharmacists to my team, work as a team. I'll bring all the staff also, the admin, the engineers, the tech gurus. I'll bring them to my team. And what makes us unique is the fact that we are strong, we are young, vibrant, youths that are talented. We have creativity. We want to unleash our creativity. Just write the English that you can write, 100 words. Then your plan, your business plan. Tell us what stage you are in your business. I was at the idea stage. So if yours is at the early stage, you can just say 0 to 1 year, or 2 years or whatever. And then is it still an idea or do you have a prototype? If it is still an idea, fine. If you have a prototype, you can share. Are you testing your market with service or a pilot version of your offerings? Or have you started manufacturing or offering your services? If so, tell us how long you have been in business and what are your key business achievements till date. You see, these questions are personal. So answer them based on what applies to you and no more than 150 words. So it's a long story. But in my own case, since I was just idea stage, I didn't write much. I just told them it was just an idea in business. Is it still an idea stage? It was still an idea stage. Do you have a prototype? I don't have a prototype. Are you testing market with service? No. When you say, tell us how long you have been in business. I've not been in business. What are your key? So that 150 words does not even apply to me. So what are the next steps for your business? This is talking about scalability of your business. How easy and how feasible? Is it for your business to reproduce itself, to hey Oyibo, to reproduce itself in another location? So talk about the milestones. Excuse me. Talk about the milestones you hope to accomplish over the next 2 years. In my own case, I said over the next 2 years, I hope to have gone from 1,000 users or from 1,000 customers, as the case may be, whichever English you choose to use, to I hope to have doubled the number of users, if not tripled the number of users by the end of the second year. And then they said on a quarterly basis, you can say what milestones you would have reached. Maybe by the end of 4 months, you hope to have increased the number of, you hope that you would have increased the number of manufacturing, the quantity you are, excuse me, the quantity you're manufacturing. You hope to have started partnering with so. So in my own case, I did not do all this quarterly. Just attain so billion. You hope to have, increased your income by double or by triple in revenue or in profit. Is it operational? Is it to expand your branches? Maybe by the end of the second year, I hope to have pitched another branch at at the city center of my state, or at other place where they need our services. Or is it that you attract new number of customers? They gave you clues, or you'd have gained new customers in region, or capability building, e.g. maybe you'd have built staff competencies to be able to execute or hire staff skilled in not more than 150 words. And that is the end of the business plan. Guys, I don't know if I'm going to share this long, because I don't like when my videos are too long, but this is going to 40 minutes and it's urgent. So let me also see some of the things that I have here. See, as I was doing this, I just got a message from one of the people that are in my WhatsApp accountability group. So she has submitted, and I was really worried for her because I didn't get to make this video before she went ahead to submit. She told me before she submitted, you know, and now she got a congratulations, you're eligible to move to the entrepreneurship program. Okay, this is another person, that is moving to another. Okay. So it seems like I already have like 4 people who have got the mail that they should move to the second phase of the program. But please, before you move to the second phase, you have to see this video.